G'day guys, Pete's Tools. Great day here in New Zealand today. It's really hot. I might go and put my bikini on later and go for a swim. Woohoo! That'll scare away even the sharks, eh? Anyway guys, what I am doing today is I've got a project coming up and I've got to cut like 200 strips of 8-inch wide thin panel, about a 1mm panel. So I was trying to figure out a way to do it. So I reckon I figured out a way to do it. So I'll show you guys what I come up with. And we'll see if it actually works or not. Probably doesn't, you know me, but anyway, we'll give anything a crack, you know me. So what I'm trying to do, guys, is put two plasma torches together and try and run them at the same time so I don't have to cut individual cuts, if you understand what I'm saying. Anyway, guys, if you like my videos, subscribe, drop me a like, drop me a comment, and let's go. Well, this project, guys, is I brought an actual TIG torch, a WP17 torch. Now, it has to be a WP17 because I reckon, and I just reckon, that these fittings here on the end of this torch, like this one here, and where is the other little sucker? This one here, I reckon they will fit into my plasma cutter, and I reckon the circuitry is almost the same. So we'll go and have a look, guys, and see what we come up with. So guys, I just went and brought one of these WP17 TIG torches. I mean, they're not worth a hell of a lot, so I just it's worth it while for me just to play with it, you know what I mean? But I reckon these plugs here are going to fit into my plasma cutter, so let's have a look, eh? And it's got the same sort of trigger mechanism on it as my plasma cutter. Just the old clip-on switch. And it's much the same sort of thing. Well, that fits in there. And then we've got the old off-on for the switch, for the clip-on switch. So we'll try and get that sucker on there. No, maybe he doesn't fit. Does he fit? Does he fit? Let's have a look. Yeah. So he fits in there. So now what have we got? We've got a plasma cutter and we've got a TIG torch attached to it. Rightio, so I am going to try and make this TIG torch into a double-ended plasma cutter. You're an idiot, Pete. So why I reckon this is going to work, guys, is because it's got the same switch on it, off-on switch. It's got the same thing that plugs into my plasma cutter. It's just a little off-on switch. It has an air hose or a gas hose, depending what you want to call it. Like in here, it's the gas hose. And it's also braided, which means that it's braided on the outside, which so the electrical current can come up and it can attach into the head here. So yeah, so that was my theory anyway, and I reckon it should work. But you know what things are like, things that should work, things don't work, and anyway, we'll give it a crack, Nigel, see what happens, eh? So basically what I'm trying to do, guys, is a couple of these. I want to put one either side, about 8 inches apart, so I can get a 8-inch cut at one time and I don't have to keep going over, you know, just move it and then move it and then and so on and so on. So I'm cutting like an 8-inch strip at a time instead of doing it one at a time like there and then there and you get one, if you understand what I'm saying. Anyway, it's as clear as mud, so let's have a go at doing that. So how the hell are you going to do that, Pete? Well, let's have a look. So if we pull one of these torches to bits, guys, this is what we end up with. Just like that. Can you see that in there? So what we have here is just a fitting here where your hose goes on here. And the hose is braided, like I said, then the braid hooks onto here to give this power. And then up the centre of your hose is your gas, and when we're plasma cutting or whatever, we're using, well, I'm using just plain old air out of an air compressor. So guys, I reckon my TIG torch is going to be exactly the same. That's why I chose the WP17 model, because the other ones have different fittings in here. But this comes straight up here through your braided gas line or your air line, whatever you're using. Comes up here, you got your external switch here that operates your machine. Comes up here, it's still connected up, and it goes into the head. Of course, the principles of TIG torch and the plasma cutter torch are totally different, but I think the wiring's the same for these cheap little Chinese plasma cutters. So I reckon I can make it work use it as a plasma cutter head. But anyway, with your TIG torch, as you guys know, that you put your collet holder in here, just screw them in like that, and then you put your ceramic on, just screw your ceramic in like that, and then you put your collet here in the back here, like so, and then you put your tail on, whether it's long, short or medium or whatever you're doing. You do that like so, and you're obviously set up for TIG welding now, obviously. But I'm going to turn this into a plasma cutter torch, believe me. So what I've basically done, guys, is pulled two of these to bits, and I've got two of these. Now, all things being equal, and God being in his heaven and all that, I reckon these here, with this fitting on here, see that fitting there? It's going to screw right into here. So we've got one in there. And if luck's on my side and Pete's been a good boy, this one should screw on the other side. Woohoo! Woohoo! What do you reckon, guys? Look at that! Woo-ha! And all we have to do now is move the switch around there like that, so we get them on the top, and just adjust these a little bit, so they're both pointing in the right direction. What do you reckon? Woo-ha! Shall we give it a go, guys? Let's give it a go, see what happens. I don't know, guys, let's give this a crack, see what happens. I only seem to be cutting one side. Now the other side. You want to use it for one side, it seems really good. But you can use it whatever side you want, obviously. You just can't seem to use the both sides together. Well, that sucks, doesn't it? Well, it works. We've got a stereo torch head, but you can't use them both at one time. Well, that sucks, doesn't it? Yeah, guys, if you got any ideas why that might be happening, maybe I just haven't got enough grunt in the machine. But my theory was alright. See, Pete's theory was right. It's just the practice fell down a little bit. So, guys, my double-headed plasma cutter Viper torch, it sort of worked. It's sort of one way and the other way it'll work, but for some reason it won't work both ways. Anyway, guys, you know why, let me know. Stay tuned. I've got some really good videos coming up, what you can do with a TIG torch. Use it with your plasma cutter. And these other ideas might actually work, guys. Anyway, you like my channel, subscribe, drop me a like, drop me a comment, and let's get into it next time.